on the Ohio State Sports Network. Presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State athletics.
Buckeye basketball fans having a good Wednesday night. 93-69 home Big Ten victory over Washington. That's what you want. The Buckeyes were able to empty the bench and get everybody out there. 3 tremendous games from John Mobley Jr., Bruce Thornton, Micah Parrish. Good games from other folks as well, like Aaron Bradshaw off the bench, Sean Stewart, Devin Royal, just a good team victory. Before we talk to assistant coach Dave Dickerson and hear from head coach Jake Diebler, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Buckeye basketball from Learfield.
Always your home for Buckeye basketball.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Your flagship station for Ohio State athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
All right, we are joined by assistant coach, associate head coach Dave Dickerson. Dave, we always appreciate the time. This had to feel good because you know this is a game you've got to have with where you guys are right now in the game that's coming up on Sunday. And boy, you passed the test with flying colors. It has to feel good.
Well, it's good to see the guys smile in that locker room last Sunday at Nebraska. We had some long faces, and I think we let one get away where we didn't play about a 5-minute stretch in the second half, and we wanted to, no matter who we played today, we'll try and play 40 minutes of basketball. And I thought Coach Steves and Jamal and Joel and Taylor and Coach Luke, those guys did an unbelievable job of just simplifying the game plan tonight. And this is probably the first time all year where we played really good game plan prep basketball. And it was just good to see the guys do that, especially at this time of year.
Do you think there was something, Dave, in that preparation that actually led to them shooting the basketball better because of their confidence and their belief in how they were going to go out there and perform and take control of this game?
Well, we had a day off doing this prep, but you wouldn't have thought that because of where the guys came out and shot the basketball. I thought Micah really got a lot of shots up in about 72, 48 hours, and Junie did the same thing, and Bruce is a relentless worker. And so this time of year, you can't do a lot on the floor, but you can do a lot as far as that mental and emotional and sharpening up your game. And I thought after the Nebraska game to this game, our guys were really sharp.
Dave, what do you think the carryover to your biggest game of the season? I think I can call it that now, right? We're to this stage of the season now where it's late in the year. You guys are in a nice NCAA tournament position. You got a top 20 team that's in first place in the league, and it's Michigan. It's pretty big on Sunday.
Well, I've been here with this year now 8 years, and Michigan is never a dull moment. You know what I mean? and I'm pretty sure the shot going to be rocking, and we're going to need the shot to be rocking. And our fans are the best damn fans in the land. We need them to be that way on Sunday. Michigan is a very good team. They're probably one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the league. And but I love how we're playing right now. I love how we're preparing right now. And it's going to be one of those wars. And I know our guys are going to be ready to play it, and Coach Steve's going to be ready to coach. And it's going to be a great atmosphere.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on the game plan and the guys executing it. 93-69 win. Domination out there. Nicely done, Dave. Appreciate you joining us.
Hey, thanks a lot for having me on.
Absolutely. Dave Dickerson, assistant coach for the Buckeyes. Bodie, is Jake Diebler at the press conference already? All right. He has started. Let's go back to the Schottenstein Center. Head coach Jake Diebler, folks.
Physicality was better on the defensive side. Offensively, thought we shared it well. Thought we played with force and physicality on offense too. We were able to get to the free throw line more than our opponent, which was a nice change. And we got out in transition. We weren't perfect in our transition attack. Certainly left some points out there, but we got out. We played with good pace. Our pace was good in the half court. So I felt like those are the areas specifically, and just kind of in real time. We'll see. We'll go back and watch film, but in real time, that's what it felt like. We took a step forward.
Yeah, in the second half, there was a moment where Washington, I think they cut it to 16 on a few threes from their big men. But then after that, you guys kind of buckled down and I think increased the lead to like 21, 23, and then obviously 30 at the end. Well, I guess, what did it mean to kind of put the foot like on the gas and like not let up? And I guess why did you guys do that, I guess?
Yeah, well, I think, right, when you play in this league, there's good players on every team. So when teams, make tough shots, those aren't the ones that really, you have to have maybe extended dialogue about. But some of our issue, like one of those specifically, was a communication error. And it's like every single time we step on the floor, it is important for us to continue to grow in our execution and our attention to detail. And no one has to play perfect, certainly no one's ever going to play perfect, but we want to keep striving for that. I think this team has really grown. We've gotten better at, keeping our foot on the gas. We haven't done that as well as we would have liked, in our last couple road games when we had a lead. But I don't think it was a lack of effort or intent. There was some defensive breakdowns that led to some easy buckets in those games, and we missed some looks. But I want us to be a team that is good defensively, that maybe when we're not shooting like we did tonight, like we can still find a way to build a lead. We can still find a way to maintain. So that's why, we were so adamant about playing, with that toughness, regardless of what was happening on the offensive end, on the defensive side.
Yeah, and then, I think it was the end of the first half. You guys went to like a extended 2-2 or 2-2-1 zone or something like that. Pressure defense. Like, I guess, is that something that was just for this game, or is that something that you could maybe implement in different games? Like, what was the thought process with that?
Yeah, we want to have that. We want to have that available, and we finally had a little bit of time to practice it. Where we had most of our guys out there. So we've been building and building confidence in that, and we want that. We want that to be available. I think it's important. Got so much respect for the teams in this league. It's important to be able to mix up defensive coverages at times, and it can be a weapon for us, if we do it right. So felt like tonight was a night we could utilize some of that.
You talked about Aaron and the front court overall, but I thought tonight was also one of the best games Sean's played this season. Talk about 7 rebounds, 2 blocks, and stayed out of foul trouble for the most part, which obviously has been a point of emphasis for him. Just what did you see out of him tonight? Yeah,
I thought Sean did. I agree with you. I thought he played really well. I thought he kind of lived in the moment. Lived in the moment really well. And, he played well because of that. He was active on the offensive glass. His rebounding numbers were, significantly better than they were last time out. He finished, and he had missed an easy one there at the end of the half, but it didn't affect him. He came out ready to go in the second half. So he was, if you kind of go back and remember before he was out for the Illinois game, he had really put together a good stretch of basketball. So I think this will be a kind of a long, hopefully, he starts another good stretch like that, and it was great to see and he practiced really well. I think that's like he had a really good practice yesterday, best practice he's had in a while, and I don't think it's coincidence he played the way he did.
And then John, Bruce, Micah all combined for 59 points in this one, and it seems lately that at least 2 of those guys is consistently stepping up with that scoring production or in other areas of the floor, game in, game out. Does that sort of underscore the importance of the next evolution of this team being the front court, that you're getting that good of play consistently from your guys in the backcourt?
Yeah, they got to stay consistent, but I think that's why our ceiling is kind of relying upon our front court continuing to grow and be productive. But those guys have to stay consistent. I mean, I'd put Devin Royal, in that category. And again, going into today, Devin really he hasn't had a full practice since the Nebraska game, and he went out, worked really hard to get back to where he could play, and thought he did some really good things, And so we kind of have these 4 guys right now that have been a little more consistent from a production standpoint. But I think those, the difference tonight was, Sean's play. It was Aaron's play. I think Evan Mahaffey has really strung together a few good games now and been active and on both sides of the ball. So I like where I was good to see, it was good to see Quez get a couple assists, get a bucket. He's felt like there's been a lid on it for him here for a little bit. So he's been working hard, and I keep telling him, like, you're due, man, you're due. And thought he played a really well tonight, played a well role. So this was a good, like I said, complete game for us, as far as our rotation goes, which was great to see.
Game that there's more room to grow and that the team's going to keep growing as the season goes on. And so you win by 24 tonight, but fresh off the dome, I guess, what are some areas of growth that you still want to see even after this game? Yeah,
well, I think 14 turnovers was too much. We've taken some strides lately in taking care of the ball better. I felt like Washington was going to turn us over a little bit, but there maybe 4 off the top of my head that just were unnecessary and self-inflicted. So that's an area for us. I think rebounding is an area, both sides of the ball, we have to continue to grow in. But our togetherness is there. We are connected, and we did a better job protecting the paint this game. At least it felt that way, and that's another one for us. So those are some specifics that I'd like to see us. Like we haven't gotten to where we keep growing. I don't want to put a limit on where we can go, because I just feel like we can keep growing in those areas.
I think Evan had a possession in the first half where he's guarding Ospor and kind of just didn't budge an inch. He over-dribbled, ended up turning it over. You've got a couple guys that are kind of tweeners that have to guard big sometimes, him, Devin, Sean. How big is that going to be for Sunday, since we're not going to talk to you before then, when Michigan starts, 2 guys that are 7-footers, and those 3 guys in particular are going to have to guard them without fouling? Yeah. I mean, the 2-footers for them, they're playing so well together, and they're both very different, obviously. And so it is going to take a collective effort on both of those guys, because they can hurt you in a variety of ways. They've seen a lot of different coverages, and they've been effective still. So, but this is now multiple times. You rewind back to the end of the first half against Maryland, where Evan, essentially one-on-one against an elite player in Derek Queen, got to stop. And so he's shown an ability to do that, and he's now getting more and more consistent with it. But it's going to take, you don't stop those 2 guys with just the 2 guys involved in the action. It's going to take everybody involved, and the gap principles are going to be important. But we'll be ready.
Defending Osobor, you talked about your interior defense and what you like, the physicality you guys played with, but when you talk about how much you emphasize the physicality leading into this, was that partially because of what he can do, and what did you think about how your guys manned up against him at 8 points?
I thought we did a good job. He's a really good player, and his usage rate is so high for them, is whether it's getting to the free throw. I thought we did a really good job not fouling. He's so good at getting to the free throw line. That was important. I felt like we made him play in crowds when he drove the ball. That was a really important part of our game plan. And so, there was some great individual effort, certainly, but I thought we executed our game plan well collectively to try to just really, like, there's no stopping him. He's such a good player. You just wanted to try to make him inefficient, try to limit some of his opportunity, and I thought we were able to do that.
There were quite a few, it felt like, highlight type of plays in this game, whether it was Evan with the back-to-back blocks on him, or Sean's block, or Micah finding Junie in the corner for the 3. When you go over a game like this where there are those plays, do you highlight those specific, like, breakout type of moments? And did you hurt your shoulder pumping when Evan got that second block? Because I thought you were going to throw your arm out, maybe.
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm all right. But yeah, I think a lot of times, really, we've had a consistent approach after each game. Certainly, celebrating the things that we do well, and watching and learning from the things that we don't. And I think it's important. Effort plays,
one more passes, those it's important to acknowledge those certainly in the moment. I clearly get excited about those, but I also think, when we meet again and we reflect through film on this game, it doesn't need to be all negative all the time, win or lose. It doesn't need to be all positive, right? We watch the film, we coach in truth, and we focus on opportunities to continue to get better. And we'll celebrate some of those plays, absolutely.
It's not about Chick-fil-A. When you look forward to the Michigan game on Sunday, obviously it's going to be a game with a lot of emotion for multiple reasons. As a coach, do you go out of your way to try to minimize what's going on Sunday? Do you let the emotion flow? How do you kind of handle that in a game?
Yeah, I don't believe in minimizing that game in this rivalry. I don't think you need to do a lot extra. We'll certainly talk, and I think there's even an education component, right, to this game, and to make sure our guys understand the history of this game, and so, but yeah, there's no minimizing it. There's more to it certainly in this time of year and all of that, but yeah, make no mistake, this is a rivalry game, and we'll embrace everything that comes with that. All right, guys, have a good night.
There goes head coach Jake Diebler after a wonderfully played game, in a game that really they absolutely 1,000,000% had to win if they want to be an NCAA tournament basketball team, which, as it stands right now, they are one. So if you keep playing solid basketball, that's exactly where you're going, which is obviously huge for where this program is, where this program was, how we got to this point here, where Jake Diebler is in his first official year. When he took over late last season, they got a win. I think they were that Illinois game away. I think that would have done it. I think they were that close to flipping it. Maybe that would have made them a first four team in Dayton, which obviously is not what you planned for, but you were wanting to get in no matter what at all costs instead of the NIT. But they got a game coming up now against Michigan that I love how he finished that press conference. I love it. I've talked to Jake Diebler before. We've had him on our local show. This is not a man that will back down from expectations and passionate fans that won't just be satisfied with this program being a tournament team, that they want to make runs in the tournament and they want to compete for championships. Obviously, they're not there for competing to win this conference regular season, but that doesn't mean they can't make a run in the Big Ten tournament and improve their Big Ten tournament seed. Just getting this win today, putting them back at 7-7, put them above a couple of Big Ten teams. We'll take a look at the standings coming up here. And I also want to hit on what is why could there be small amounts of booze at the end of a 93-69 win at home? Has nothing to do with the way the team played. I'll tell you about that and some more thoughts on this one tonight as the Buckeyes win going away against Washington. More of the Encova Insurance postgame show coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
Huntington is banking that just clicks. Like asterisk-free checking. An account that's filled with features, but no monthly maintenance fee, no matter what. Because it's your money, right? So we think you should keep it. It's just one more way we're looking out for people every day. Is your bank looking out for you? Maybe it's time to switch. Visit your neighborhood Huntington branch or make the switch at huntington.com/yourmoney.
Union Home Mortgage knows Buckeye fans never leave Ohio State behind. We've helped millions of first-time home buyers get into their dream home through our 1% down payment program. Put as little as 1% down, and UHM tosses in up to 2% on the house. Learn more at UHM.com or call 877-846-4968. Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229. UHM will contribute up to 2% down, no greater than $2,000 towards a 3% down payment. Home buyers responsible for the remainder of the down payment. This offer is available for the purchase of a primary residence only. For full terms and conditions, visit UHM.com.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace. Your Ohio State flagship station, The Fan. Now back to the Encova Insurance Buckeye postgame show on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
15 on the shot clock. Iheanacho dribbling, drives it into the lane from the left, serves one up, batted out of bounds. Sean Stewart spanked that baby out of bounds. And we'll get a timeout after the Sean Stewart emphatic block.
I mean, I cannot even describe to you what he did to Iheanacho right there. And that man did not actually score points in this game, thanks to Sean Stewart. The way that he blocked that ball, I mean, that thing went out so far. It was ridiculous. It was. I saw Joey Lane, who played basketball here at Ohio State, walk on team captain. We've had him on here before, and he's joined us. He said that Sean Stewart block was one of the most ridiculous blocks I've ever seen. Stewart actually waved goodbye to the ball. He swatted it so far into the stands. So I just want to say the crowd that was there tonight at the shot was lively, was great. There was that stretch in the first half where Ohio State was kind of up by, they hit a couple of threes. The shots were obviously falling early. They were 8 for 10 from downtown at one point, 7 for 9, 8 for 10. Like, it was a hot start. And they had a couple of blocks. I think Evan Mahaffey had a couple of them, maybe Stewart. They had a couple in the same possession, and they were already up by 14 or 15 at the time. And Micah Parrish got another corner look for 3 that he missed. But it was just one of the most exciting times of the season for the crowd getting into a first half fever pitch. You just love that when the crowd gets into it on defensive possessions and they are almost ready to hit that crescendo for when the ball is in the air. That three-pointer, swing it around. Parrish is hot. You get it. You find one of the hot guys. Ball's in the air. Oh, and then everybody collectively gasps when they don't get it to fall. But just the idea of if that Parrish three-pointer would have fallen, how loud the shot would have been right there. And you just need to make it as loud as it's been all year on Sunday when you've got Michigan coming to town. So why was there booing? So there's this promotion that maybe needs to be reevaluated. There's a Chick-fil-A in-arena promotion where when the Buckeyes get 16 assists, that is some free chicken for the people involved. And even on Big Ten Network, as I got the screen on, I've got a radio broadcast, I got the TV broadcast. They're talking about it nonstop once it's done. Apparently, the Buckeyes had that 15th dime with 7:35 still left to play, and they kept scoring. I mean, they scored buckets of points, but none of them were assisted just because it was a blowout. That's why it's tough. Like when you look at some of the final numbers with the way Washington shot, I think Ohio State's defense was better. It wasn't indicative in the Washington box score where they wound up shooting 46%, 41% from 3, because you do look at that and you're going to say, well, I would like that defense to be a little bit better, because what if you don't have 22, 21, 17 from your backcourt? What if they struggle a little bit? You'd like to still know that you can win some games with other things. Strong defense is going to have to be one of them because we know that this is a team that's got to improve on the boards. They did demolish Washington on the boards tonight. That was a good sign. But the fans at that final possession when the walk-ons were in, when, some scholarship players, but some of the bench players, the role players for Ohio State, more of the practice guys, they were in the game. God love them. You need those guys. They wound the clock down, as you do. When the shot clock's off and you're up by 20-plus points, you let it tick away. And the fans had to boo a little bit at home in a win at the final whistle. I don't think it was too big of a deal. That was just one of those byproducts of an in-game promotion that had gone wrong. And people want their chicken, right? Maybe just give it to them anyway. Maybe we just decide, well, let's just do it. But it was kind of funny. Jake Diebler and Danny Sprinkle, great name. Also a great product of Montana. Sprinkle is a Big Sky guy. Wound up coaching his alma mater, Montana State. Took him to 2 straight NCAA tournaments. Then went to Utah State and took some guys with him. Made the NCAA tournament there. Won the conference. Really good team. So back to back to back. And now he's in his first year at UW. Give that guy time. I think that's a bright coach. But you saw Sprinkle with a smile. Look, he knew he got his butt beat. And him and Jake Diebler did the handshake with like 2 minutes to go. I don't know if I'd ever seen that before. And it was very respectful and cordial as well. Like they did it. They got it done. But I'll have some final thoughts on where this team is going in that big game against Michigan. But tonight was a good night all the way around in a game you had to have and you had to perform, and they left no doubt. It's exactly what you needed to see. 93-69, Ohio State demolishes Washington. More of the Encove Insurance postgame show coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
It's Toyota truck and all-wheel drive season with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else. Now through March 3rd, get 2.99 APR financing or $2,000 customer cash on a new 25 Tundra. Excludes TRD Pro. Or lease a 25 Tundra SR Crew Max for $399 a month for 39 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
For more than 35 years, Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse has been known by Buckeye Nation as serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks have been a staple in Columbus with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. Hyde Park is proud to introduce our newly added wine room at the downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining will surround you. And coupled with live entertainment every weekend, Hyde Park will be the perfect setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Buckeyes are known for paying it forward. That's why Buckeyes Care strives to serve the betterment of our community by positively impacting families across Ohio. Join American Electric Power, Donato's, Kroger, the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, the James Cancer Hospital, Huntington Bank, and WBNS TV in Columbus in supporting this cause at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Buckeyes Care. More of the Encova Insurance postgame show and a really big game coming up on Sunday on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Life is more fun with a pal. So is pizza. So check out Donato's new $5 Pizza Pals menu. Order any large pizza and add on your choice of a sub, salad, wings, a 10-inch pizza, and more for just $5. It's the new $5 Pizza Pals menu from Donato's. More toppings, more flavor, more fun. Donato's. Gotta love more.
High-scoring offense and lockdown defense are the ingredients of a winning team. For every other ingredient, Buckeye fans trust Giant Eagle and Market District. Ready-to-eat prepared foods, a thrilling selection of fresh favorites, and everyday value from our family of brands are game day go-tos. Plus, like the Buckeyes pile up points on the court, you can score perks and earn free gas and groceries with My Perks. Giant Eagle, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The future of recycling is now at Rumpke Waste and Recycling. The recycling leader has opened North America's largest, most technologically advanced recycling center right here in Central Ohio. This one-of-a-kind facility features interactive displays, educational opportunities, and the ability to process over 60 tons of recycled material per hour. Rumpke is committed to recycling and sustainability efforts, and for more than 90 years, Rumpke has worked to make sure the items you place in your recycling bin get used again. Visit Rumpke.com to learn how you can team with Rumpke to put less trash in our landfills and more of it to good use.
Hear every Buckeye game every year. The Fan. Now back to the Encova Insurance Buckeye Postgame Show on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Back here at our network studios, I'm Timmy Hall. Good night for Buckeye basketball, folks, as they steamroll Washington 93-69. That is how you do it when you have to go out there and defend home court and get a win against a team that is at the bottom of the standings, but certainly capable, as Washington has shown in 2 of their last 3 games. They can go out and get some victories. You had to shut it down. 21 points for John Mobley as his 3-point shot. Now, you knew it. He's too good. This guy, I heard, I can't remember who was in the studio on Big Ten Network tonight after our broadcast was done, but I heard a comment about John Mobley, and I don't think it's too crazy. And it's got a big if attached to it, but throw the if out there, because I'm going to agree with that one. If John Mobley Jr. plays 4 years of college basketball and it's here at Ohio State, look out. Like John Diebler, look out. Like 3-point records, look out. Like conference ones. In the NIL era, I mean, I know we've been snake bitten by some one and dones that maybe we didn't expect to be one and dones here lately. I'm not talking about D'Angelo Russell, because you knew he would be down the stretch. He was the number 2 overall pick. I'm talking about Malachi Branham. He got hot so late in the season. Really, it wasn't until conference play started where he started heating up. Had the big game against Nebraska and then just started pouring him in. Him and EJ were great. And then Bryce Sensabaugh, who did it, and it wasn't even a very good team, but he has an incredible year, and he's one and done. He had a 30-point game for the Jazz already as a rookie. I know he's not doing crazy things, but he had a 27-point night followed by like a 34-point night. He's still trying to get it together. But between Mobley and his shooting, and just put that in the back burner now, how long he might stay at Ohio State. Let's focus on right now. He's great. Bruce Thornton, what he does, 17 points, that's kind of what you need from Bruce. Like, even if he didn't have to go for 30, but I think you need at least a 15 to 20 out of Bruce with what this team can do. And Micah Parrish, this is great what Micah Parrish is now doing. He has sort of unlocked the player that he can be, his potential, and what this Ohio State squad needs from him. Now, to focus on Aaron Bradshaw, I don't want to make it about his 12 points and that we're completely past some of the issues that were there with the consistency we're looking for from him, because I don't know if you're going to get him knocking down 2 threes in another game this year or him going 5 for 5. But what I hope is that it's a confidence boost and that gets him thinking that playing hard, practicing the right way can lead to good things, and he has a little bit more of the eye of the tiger. I'd like to see still more than the 3 rebounds there, see him fighting a little bit more on the block to go up and get those boards, but with Sean Stewart giving 7, with Micah Parrish hitting the glass for 7, I know Devin Royal, he's going to get back to it. Devin had a great start to the game for not being able to practice and having an ankle injury. That was a nice sign. He still had 8 points and 4 rebounds, and you know he wasn't 100%, but it looked good. The effort that he was playing with, just a lot of different guys on this team showed up tonight. And when you've got Michigan, who is, look, make it about everything. Make it about Dusty May and how Ohio State was looking at him, and obviously they decided to go with their in-state guy, their Ohio guy who was already on the staff and had done really, really well as an interim head coach. Obviously, we're here and now. They went with Jake Diebler. Dusty May from FAU was going to be a great candidate. We know that. He took a team there to the Final Four, and he's doing great things, 19-5 and 11-2 in the Big Ten at Michigan. He stole one of our guards, and Roddy Gale, right? He's got 2 big 7-footers. They've won 5 in a row. Since they got blasted on the road at Purdue, they have not lost. ripping off wins against Penn State, Rutgers, Oregon, Indiana, and then just beating Purdue, surviving a Braden Smith three-point attempt, and getting the 75-73 win. So it should be lit on Sunday when you play Michigan. I saw someone on social media just say to me, you guys can follow me at Timmy Hall Radio. A lot of basketball thoughts are there. Season-defining game. I agree with you. I do. I agree with that. It's a season-defining game. It's not make or break at this point, but it can define this season and where this Ohio State basketball team can continue to go. It gives you breathing room. It would put you above 500. It would put you at 16-10. And if they beat, I said the same thing about if they would have gotten that Nebraska game. I'm going to say the same thing. And if they get the Michigan game, I will then be shocked if this team does not wind up in the NCAA tournament. If they beat Michigan on Sunday, I'd be stunned, shocked if they don't wind up making the big dance. That's how important the game is to me. It should be a lot of fun. Well, we'll see you then for it. Thanks for listening to the Encova Insurance postgame show, brought to you by Encova Insurance. All rights to the material contained in this broadcast are retained as the copyrighted property of The Ohio State University and may not be reproduced or rebroadcast without expressed written authorization. The commercial advertisements made in connection with this broadcast were made for the promotional purposes of the sponsors and should not be construed as an endorsement by The Ohio State University of the products or services. The Ohio State Sports Network is a production of Radio Ohio Incorporated. The announcers for today's game were chosen by Radio Ohio and Learfield in conjunction with The Ohio State University. The executive producer of Ohio State Radio Sports is Skip Mossick. On behalf of our studio producer, Bodie Wells, and for Paul Keels and Ron Stokes, I'm Timmy Hall, inviting you to join us Sunday afternoon at 1 as the Buckeyes host Michigan. We'll be on the air with the Toyota Buckeye pregame show beginning at 12:15. Tonight's game has been brought to you statewide by the American Dairy Association Mideast. Once again, final score 93-69. Ohio State cruises past Washington. Thanks for listening. This is the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
And brought to you locally by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers on your home of the Buckeyes. Live and local weekday mornings beginning at 6 with Morning Juice on the Fan, Ohio sports destination.